What's up, guys? The other night I went and checked out the latest film from directing duo Dan Burke and Robert Olson, Novocaine. This is the first film of theirs I've ever checked out. It's led by Jack Quaid, who plays the character of Nathan Kane. He's your everyday man, very unassuming bank manager who is suddenly thrust into the role of hero when the bank that he works at is the victim of a heist and a hostage is taken. And he may not have the necessary skills and training to pull off a rescue of this magnitude, but his unique inability to feel pain is sure to help him along the way. I was actually pretty late to the hype train for this movie. I know now a lot of people were looking forward to it, but I hadn't heard or seen anything about it until a friend of mine brought it to my attention, and once she did, I read the premise, was instantly hooked, and it immediately became a film I was excited to check out. But did Novocaine actually end up being a film worth the excitement, or did I leave the theater wishing that I couldn't feel the pain of disappointment? Let's get into it. But before we do that, I'd like to ask that while you're here, go ahead and give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, as well as get down in the comments and let me know if Novocaine is a film you're excited to check out, or if you were able to catch an early screening before its official release, what'd you think about it? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Now let's get into the review. As always, starting with the positives, and immediately right off the bat, I'll just go ahead and say I had an absolute blast with this film. The no pain shtick that they're running with here gives ample opportunity for some really fun moments in an action film of this sort, and they take full advantage of those opportunities. Very quickly, Jack Quaid has become an actor that I really enjoy watching. He really got my attention a few years ago when he was in Scream 5, and I thought he did really well in that. And then earlier this year, he was in Companion, which, when this year's all said and done, might be my favorite film of 2025, and he does a really good job here in Novocaine as well. He also just seems like a really likable dude. I know nepotism is a big hot topic on the internet these days, and being that his parents are Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, two giants in the industry, that opens him up for a lot of criticism, but he seems like such a humble guy, and he doesn't give off the vibe of being a nepo baby. He really seems like he wants to work and earn everything he gets in this industry, and I find that very commendable and something to root for. And moving forward, if his name is attached to a movie, that's going to perk my ears up and make me excited to see that movie. He and his character are by far the best part about this film, and why I found this character so compelling is that in a lot of ways, he's the most uninteresting man on the planet. He has really no social life, no significant other, boring ass job, but he's got this genetic disorder that makes him unable to feel pain that kind of makes him the most interesting person in the world. And then you combine that character with Jack Quaid's performance, and it carries this movie from beginning to end. And though a lot of this movie is about the kind of how can he use this ability to not feel pain to his advantage, I also like that the film takes the time to also show the disadvantages that would come along with that. Like, I'm sure if you ask the average person, hey, what would it be like if you couldn't feel pain? They would probably think it would be awesome and it would make them feel like a superhero. But then you see this guy in this movie and he can't even tell when he has to pee because he doesn't feel that burning sensation that we feel when we really gotta go. He also can't chew solid food because he's afraid of biting his own tongue without even realizing it. So for character and story wise, to show what really are the disadvantages to this genetic disorder that he has makes us sympathetic and realize, oh, it's actually not all that great and it's not really something enhancing his life. If anything, it's more of a burden. And I think character and story wise, it was a real nice touch and something I'm glad they did. In terms of the action in this film, they're really solid. It mainly focuses on hand-to-hand combat, but I also really like some of the locations chosen for some of these sequences because not only is it fun to see this guy use his uniqueness to his advantage, it's also fun to see him use his environment as well. And it creates a lot of fun and entertaining moments, but as well as some brutal, bloody action as well. And speaking of bloody, I really appreciate this film's use of practical effects. There's some CGI in there, but it's at a minimum, and going the practical route really enhances the grossness of some of the injuries this man is sustaining throughout the film. And it's not the goriest film you've ever seen, but this movie definitely knows how to push a few buttons that will make you wince. Outside of the action, this movie is also really funny as well. You know, Jack Quaid has shown that he has good comedic timing and delivery. We saw that in Companion, and he continues to show it in this film as well. And the few moments we get with Jacob Batalon's character were also really good. He's not in the movie that much, but the few moments we do get with him, he makes them count, and he brings it on the comedic side of things as well. I don't really have anything that I'm mixed on for this film, so we're going to jump straight to the negatives. And my only real big problem with this movie is that, aside from its unique concept and main character, there's not much here in terms of plot and characters. When I say Jack Quaid and his character carry this movie, I really mean that, because if you removed him, we would just have a funnier version of any Liam Neeson Taken movie that we've seen 1,000 times. I would say Jacob Batalon's character, who I mentioned earlier, is probably the second best character in this movie, but he's not in the film a whole lot. And so everyone else, we got generic cops, generic villain, generic love interest. It's just none of them stand out in any unique or interesting way. But luckily, they do get a lot of mileage out of the concept of this film. And so, though this is in the negatives, I'm not necessarily needing all that to work because what the movie is built on is so entertaining. I'm only bringing it up because if you're going to this movie looking for something more, which I don't think people typically are in action movies, but if so, I don't think you will find it here. But the lead performance and the main character carry this movie. It's all this movie needs. They don't really need to do all the other things, but I'd be remiss if I did not point out the shortcomings in terms of the rest of the movie outside of just the one character. So there you guys have it. Those are my thoughts on Novocaine, a really solid action comedy that definitely delivered on the excitement I had for it. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Even though plot and story-wise, it may be a bit surface level, the core idea they have here was very fun and entertaining, that it carried and covered up a lot of the shortcomings that may be in other areas of the film that I didn't really need those other things. And so if you're an action fan, I definitely recommend go checking this out in theaters. Even if you're not, it's definitely worth at least streaming once it's available on a service. Let me know what you guys thought about this movie down in the comments below. If you've seen it, if you haven't, are you excited to check it out? Also, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel while you're here. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.